welcome to my channel, or welcome back. I'm Yosha and I'm your go-to girl for all things real. And in today's video, I'm gonna be sharing about the Nexus Tours experience. I decided to separate this review from my full Royalton Blue Waters resort review because it's enough information and enough of a separate topic to be able to kind of stand on its own. And I felt like it would help others who may be traveling to Jamaica and may want to book shared transportation or private transportation for upcoming travel. Now, they do also go to other countries, including Cancun, Mexico. So I felt it would be good to share my experience with y'all so that y'all can decide what you think is best for you when traveling. If you are new here, I am a lifestyle vlogger from the Atlanta area. I love frugal travel and I always post reviews. So if that is something you're into, or if you just like my vibe, please do subscribe, share this video, give it a thumbs up so we can grow this community and reach others that may need this information. Nexus Tours is a transportation option that allows you the opportunity to either book shared transportation shuttles or private transportation shuttles to get to the airport and to your resort, or from your resort to the airport, or from your resort to excursion. It's basically a way to have reliable transportation, and that way you feel safe when you're in another country. And a lot of times they partner with resorts. For my most recent trip, I had a resort reservation with Royalton Blue Waters, which is a Marriott resort, and the rate that we had also included shared transportation with the price for my family. And so they were able to pick us up from the international airport in Jamaica and give us a ride to our resort and back. And that was really convenient. Once you make your reservation with the hotel or resort, they will communicate that with Nexus and generate a profile for you that is related to the confirmation number in your email. And so it will take a couple of days for that to populate, but once you wait the 48 hours or so, you can put that code into the Nexus website and it will recognize your itinerary, and that will allow you to put your flight time, put your WhatsApp information, put your telephone number and email so that they can generate your QR code for your Nexus ride. So that is kind of the way you set that up if you do it through the resort. If you do it on your own, then you would just fill it out using their website. And it's a very seamless experience that I can overlay for y'all. So I wanted to walk you through the process of submitting a transfer request through the website. So here I am just plopping in some imaginary information. And as you can see, it's giving me options for different private transfers. And as you can see, it varies based on the size and type of the vehicle. But I put in the airport in Cancun and the resort. I'm populating 3 adults and 1 child. And as it loads, it's showing us that it is about $42 for the first private shuttle option. So this is just me letting you know that it may be more cost efficient and more beneficial for you and your group to book a private transfer through Nexus on your own. This is the same process that I did for my upcoming trip to Cancun, because we do want to be on our own accord for that trip since we will be celebrating our anniversary. If you have any questions, let me know. Here is the pros and the cons of shared transportation through the resort. The first thing is, with the shared transportation, you are sharing the transportation with others. It's exactly what it sounds like, but then even some more that you may have not even thought about. So I've done shared transportation before when I did group travel in the past, and it was a shared transfer with people that I was not necessarily in the same room with, but we were all going to the same resort. Some of our flights came in at different times, but we were all within the same 2-hour window, so it didn't feel like we had to wait for a long time. With the shared transportation through the resort on my last experience, I noticed that I had to wait a little bit longer than I anticipated, and the shared transportation was not just for my resort. And what I mean by that is they let on at least 20 other passengers, and some of them were at different resorts than me. So there were some people on the bus with us who went to the same resort as us. So some people were at Rio, some people were at Hyatt, some people were at, I think, Agastar. We passed the Hilton Rosenhall. There was a lot of stops along the way. So the cool thing about it being included is you don't have to pay for something else separately. You don't have to worry about being by yourself if you're traveling by yourself, but you are not going to go straight to your destination because you have to worry about the others. So if their resorts are before your resort, the bus driver is going to go in the order of the route, and then they may not stop immediately at your resort. Versus if you do private, it will just be you and whoever you put on your reservation. Then when they pick you up, you'll get on your bus and you'll depart and you'll go immediately. Another thing is, on the day that we left the resort, we were expecting to leave a little bit later because our flight didn't leave the Jamaica area until 2:30. Checkout was at 12, so we wanted to leave around 12:15 or 12:30 if it was up to us. Because we had shared transportation that was included, we were told that we had to leave around 10:20 a.m. and I think we departed around 10:25-ish. And so this was about an hour and a half earlier than I anticipated, and that was because of it being a shared transportation option with others who were traveling with us. It might have been other people on the bus who were picked up first who were on the ride with us, or it might have been people who were on the same resort as us but they had different flights, and so rather than picking us up at different times, they kind of jumbled us all together. So the benefit that I would say of booking a private transportation versus a shared transportation is that when you do private, you will have more say-so about what time they can pick you up and drop you off. Other than that, it was a pretty seamless experience. The actual bus itself was great. The first bus that picked us up was large. It had plenty of space for seating. The chairs reclined. They had air conditioning. The chairs had chargers on the back, so I was able to charge my phone while I was on the bus. And it was helpful because we were waiting for a little bit for folks to get on the bus and for people to get off as they stopped at other resorts. And they also had drinks for sale. I think they sold red straps for like $5. So overall, that experience was pretty positive. I was a little bit antsy to get to my own resort after being on the bus for an hour, simply because we were waiting for other people to get on and waiting for people to get off, but it was not a bad experience. I think that it is a good option for you to use. Now with the private, I think that I like that a little bit better because I want to get the most out of my reservation. So like if checkout is at 12, I want to check out at 12, or I want to check out at 11:45. I don't want to check out at 10:30 because I feel like, you know, that's cutting into me enjoying the beach or the pool or another drink before I have to go home. The cost there for me was $0. When I did a future reservation that's coming up in a couple of months, they actually had a fee of $32 per person for the shared transportation. So with that, going through the resort, I would say prices can vary depending on what sales that resort has. We actually decided to opt for private transportation because it actually came out much cheaper than $32 per person. As you can see, the total here was about $82 total. And this is for a group of 4 people with a private transfer. Now, really quickly, what to look for when you get to the airport and you're trying to figure out where to go. So at every airport, and specifically in Jamaica, when you go downstairs, there is usually an area for ground transportation. When you get to the ground transportation area, there will be an area where there are shuttles and taxis and cabs. When you get out to that main area, you will see some employees that have orange Nexus Tours t-shirts on, and they will have their tablet with them ready to verify your reservation and check you in for your ride. So before you get to the airport, or at least before you take off, you want to make sure that you log in using the confirmation number that they provided you or that your resort provided you, as well as your name and download your QR code, because they are going to use your specific QR code to verify your reservation. And like, if you don't have Wi-Fi or you don't have access to it, you need to download that to your phone and put it in your Apple Wallet or take a screenshot so that they're able to scan that for you and check you in. Overall, Nexus provided a really great experience, so I would definitely use them again. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.